Morning again. So we woke up in Cologne, walked, got breakfast, Yvonne did some laundry, and then we hopped on a train over to Bonn. It was only about like 20 minutes. So we're going to spend the day here walking around, going to check out Castle right now. And then we're going to take the train over to Koblenz, where we'll spend the night. And then the next day go to the castle that I've been really wanting to see. So that's exciting. But for now, we're just walking around this little town. So enjoy. So here I am at an old cemetery in Bonn. After this, I'm heading back to the train station. That's where Yvonne's waiting. And we're gonna head over to Koblenz, spend one night there, and then over to Frankfurt. We're at that point in the trip where Yvonne has decided that she wants to go home now. So she's already been looking at like plane tickets and stuff. Because the ones we have you can't really change or do anything with, but we'll see if she decides to stay or not. I hope she does. It'll be fun, but I'm not going home. I'm finishing this trip and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. So stay with me. Hey guys, good morning. So this morning we're here in Hotel Maryland. It was a pretty rough night. Crazy. I'll just do a quick little recap for you guys. So we spent a couple hours walking around Bonn. That was nice. Nice little place. And then we took the train over to Koblenz, where I wanted to go, because the castle that I really want to see that we're going to see today is near here. So we get off the train station. Yvonne was pretty tired, so she's like, I'm just gonna call, like, well, I'll pay for a cab, let's do that. So we get in and I show him the hostel that I have loaded on my phone. So I'm like, this is where we're going. So he like already asked his buddy, and then he's like, oh, okay. So he drives us, and then on the way there, he's calling another friend, asking them about it too. So we go up to the top of this hill, and he drops us off, and he's like, it's a male hostel, so good luck to you. And then just drops us off and leaves. So I pull it up on Google Maps, and it says it's only a 7-minute walk. So we start walking, and it's like this little hiking trail. And it doesn't look too bad, so we start going down it. And then we like take another turn. I'm like, wait, it's telling us to go this way, like up the hill, over this fallen tree. And it's like this skinny little dirt path. So we're like, whatever, let's just do it. We want to get there. So we start walking. I mean, there's like rocks and it's like this narrow path. And mind you, we have our suitcases, our big heavy suitcases the whole time. Because we're trying to get to this hostel. Suitcases and backpacks. So we're pulling them down this hiking trail. There's like stairs that are going up. Little like stone stairs, and it was an awful mess. So we get all the way to the top, back down to this road, and it's like this castle looking thing. So I'm like, where the heck is it? So we just throw our suitcases on the side of the road. We find these people and they're like, oh yeah, the hostel's up here. So we go up, we finally find it. It's a beautiful view. But this is like now 8:30 at night. So we go in and they're fully booked. They have no beds available. Then from there, I looked up other hostels. There weren't really any other hostels, but I found this cheaper hotel. So I like went and actually booked the room before we got here. So then we tried calling a taxi to come pick us up on that road that we left our suitcases. But no taxis come down that road. No cars can come up that road. So we went back to the hostel guy and he drew us on a map like which different ways we could go. So we ended up just walking down that road. At least we were going downhill with our suitcases, but it was just a lot, and we walked. The Maryland hotel wasn't too far from there. So we made it, survived the night, but after that, Yvonne's definitely going home now. I mean, it's just a little hiccup. Those kind of things happen when you travel all the time and you push through and it makes you a better traveler. So I'm excited for today though, going to check out that castle. We gotta walk to the bus station. It's, walk to the train station. It's about like a half an hour walk, but I think I can make it faster. So let me just show you our room real quick and then let's go. We actually have a fan. That's where I washed my outfit for today. Alright guys, so this day was probably the craziest day that I've had on a trip. I almost want to say like any trip. It was just so intense. Hiking through a narrow little trail with our suitcases and our backpacks in the middle of summer. This is at the end of July. So it was very, very hot, like 80s, 90s, and it was the worst. So Yvonne decided to go home. When we finally got to the Hotel Maryland, she booked a ticket home. What I forgot to tell you guys is like the story just gets even crazier. So we hiked through the woods, up the stairs, onto the road. That hostel was booked, so we ended up walking all the way down that hill, down the road. We tried to get food once we got into the little town there, but they don't accept cards, cash only. We only had cards. So we're like, whatever. We just went. Okay. So I booked the Hotel Maryland online. I didn't pay for it. I just reserved the room. So we get there. It was just after 9 o'clock now, I believe. And when we got to the door, the front door, it was locked. And it said, there was a sign on it that said, call this number if you need to get in or something. So I called the number and the guy answered. And so I was like, hi, like me and my friend are here. We just booked a room online like 20 minutes ago. And he's like, oh, well, the receptionist has left. And so I was like, okay, well, we just came all this way. I booked the room online. I was like, I have the reservation number. It's like, we just want to get in to our room. And so I think he could tell. So he's like, okay, fine. He's like, I'll give you the code to come in and you can just pay her in the morning. So like that works perfect. So he told me which room, the keys in the door to the room, and then gave me the code to enter the building. So we did. Got to the room, found it okay, nice 2 beds. And then Yvonne was like, well, I need Wi-Fi because I want to look up like plane tickets home. We couldn't find the Wi-Fi code, so I had to call this poor guy again, probably wake him up and ask for the Wi-Fi, which I got. Okay, so that's crazy, but there's one more thing. So, next morning, breakfast. We go downstairs. We were the last two. We almost missed breakfast. So we eat, and then Yvonne goes back upstairs to get ready. And then the lady comes over to have me pay and fill out the forms. Because you always have to fill out this weird, like tourist form, I guess. You write your name, where you're from, that kind of thing. Okay, so I fill out that paper, and then she has one of those little card readers. So I put my card in, and then it says approved. And then the paper that usually prints out the receipt, it doesn't print anything. It's jammed or broken or something. So she was like, also, I forgot to say, this lady barely speaks English. Like, we're trying to communicate, and it's working for the most part. But anyway, so I put my card in, I pay, and then it doesn't print a receipt. So she's like, oh, it didn't work. Like, let's try it one more time. So she puts my card in again, says approved, still doesn't print a receipt. So she's like, the machine's broken. Like, can you just pay in cash? And so, like, luckily enough, I just barely had enough cash on me that I was saving. So I was able to pay her in cash, and we went through. That was all fine. At this time, I had worked at the restaurant. So I knew at the end of the night at the restaurant, they would go through all the credit cards and approve them all for the end of the night. So I was thinking, if my card did go through twice, that they just wouldn't approve it or whatever because I paid in cash. Okay, so now you're all caught up. Later in the trip, I don't know if I mentioned this, so you might hear it again, but I was checking my bank account like I always do right on my phone on the app, and I got charged twice for the Hotel Maryland. And I paid in cash. So I went and emailed them, the hotel, and explained what had happened. Because I'm just barely halfway through my trip. And I mean, after taxes and the conversion and everything, it was like $80 for 2 people, for me and Yvonne to stay for one night. So I emailed Hotel Maryland with the issue, and they said, okay, no problem, just give us your bank info and we can refund you. So I was like, my bank info, like my bank account number or what? So I went on to my actual bank and messaged them and said, they asked for my bank info, like what do I give them? So my bank was like, try not to give your bank account number. If you have to, you can, but ask them if they can just refund the visa. So like, okay, that's fine. So I emailed the hotel back and said, I wrote this message. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, can you refund the visa instead? If that's not possible, then I can give you my bank info. I just, don't really want to right off the bat. If there's another way we can solve this. And then I just never heard back from them, ever. Once I got home from my trip, I mean, it wasn't the first thing I did because I know it's such a hassle. I waited probably a few months before I finally got over to my bank in person and told them what happened. And we submitted I forget what it's called, some type of form, like a fraud form or, I don't know. I tried to fight the 2 charges or whatever. I filled out that form, but it never ended up going through. So I ended up paying 3 times for that hostel after that crazy day. So I would not recommend Hotel Maryland. It was not a good place. They seemed really nice, and I mean, he let us in and all that, but they don't handle customer service very well. So that's all I have to say. Also, this is the outro for this video. I didn't film too much. I include some pictures because it was just such a crazy, stressful day that I didn't always have the camera rolling. We just wanted to get where we were going. But so from now on, Yvonne won't be in any of the videos because she left to go home, and I continued on. So next, you're going to see me visit one of my favorite places. It was such an amazing castle. It was #1 on my list to see during this trip, and I made it. So I visited this castle, and then we move on. 45 minutes. I thought I was almost there.